believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
In your career, have you ever seen a propulsion system that creates no thermal exhaust?
No.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very determinate. It knew exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Yeah, it was good, YouTube, man. We back with another one with Cell Reacts. And before I get into the video, please subscribe to the channel. Spam that like button on this vid too as well so we can go up. But yeah, man, with no further ado, let's get right into this crazy vid, man.
Frankly, I have been pushing NASA to revamp its vision. The shuttle did some extraordinary work in low orbit experiments, this International Space Station, moving cargo. It was an extraordinary accomplishment, and we're very proud of the work that it did. But now what we need is that next technological breakthrough. We're still using the same models for space travel that we used with the Apollo program 30, 40 years ago. And so what we've said is, rather than keep on doing the same thing, let's invest in basic research around new technologies.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
The technology that they used between 1963 and 1972, they don't have it anymore. But then you hear your ex-president say they're still using the same technology that they used between 1963 and 1972, which is their current excuse for not being able to go past low Earth orbit. Now, keep that in mind.
The technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
So I had the technology back then to go to the moon, but now we're much more advanced that we can't make it to the moon now, but we can do it back in the day. That don't make any sense. You know, I don't get it. I don't know how they can get these astronauts or whatever, wherever they at, to lie on camera. Like, that's crazy. Come on. We all know you're lying.
High government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. Paul Hellyer.
Paul Hellyer, former Minister of Defense of Canada, and he believes that life forms from space exist and are present on Earth. Why do you say that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over our heads?
Well, because I know that they are. They've been, as a matter of fact, they've been visiting our planet for thousands of years. And one of the cases that would interest you most, if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to answer, is during the Cold War, 1961, there were about 50 UFOs in formation flying south from Russia to across Europe. And the Supreme Allied Commander was very concerned and about ready to press the panic button when they turned around and went back over the North Pole. So they decided to do an investigation, and they investigated for 3 years, and they decided that with absolute certainty that 4 different species at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years. So that's we have a long history of UFOs, and of course there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, and they're very concerned about that and the fact that we might use it again. And because the whole cosmos is a unity, and it affects not just us, but other people in the cosmos. They're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well.
Little do we know, we probably the threat, and they just coming to check on what's going on. You know, so it might be our government that's starting the situation up, and that's why they're showing up a lot more. You never really know.
Hey, quick question for the Christians. How are you processing the fact that aliens have just been confirmed to be real, but no confirmation on God?
Yeah, that guy trying to start something. Yeah, he trying to start some trouble. That's all he trying to do. Nah.
After 5 years, the feds have finally charged Hunter Biden. The president's son today pled guilty to 2 counts of tax evasion. Hunter didn't pay federal income taxes for 2 years on over $1 million in income, and the prosecutors are asking for no prison time. Repeat tax cheat. And prosecutors are also letting Hunter Biden skate on possession of an illegal firearm, which could have sent him to prison for 10 years. But Hunter's getting a pretrial diversion, which means his charges get dropped if he doesn't do drugs. This plea deal actually goes against Justice Department guidelines on the tax and the gun charge. This isn't a plea deal, this is a cover-up. Hunter Biden's attorney says the case is closed because the prosecutors never even cracked open the laptop. The laptop has evidence of money laundering, bribery, sex trafficking, wire fraud, foreign lobbying crimes, kickbacks, and racketeering. It's almost as if the laptop wasn't a part of the investigation. Well, that's true because Hunter Biden's attorney said so. Hunter Biden's lawyer can't recall if prosecutors asked him about the laptop. In 5 years, the feds never brought up the laptop. This wasn't an investigation. This investigation was weaker than John Durham's investigation. How does a prosecutor charge someone for not paying income taxes and not pursue where the income came from? You got income coming from in all over the world through a maze of shell companies. Proper procedure is you follow the money. They didn't follow the money at all. Prosecutors knew if they followed the money, it'd lead straight to Joe Biden and expose the entire Biden family. That's why the laptop's been gathering dust for 5 years.
Exactly.
And how many times have you heard Democrats beg prosecutors to charge Americans with gun crimes? That's all you hear. Ghost guns, hot guns, background checks, loopholes. Hunter Biden lied on a background check. He's high on crack, brandishing an illegal gun on camera in front of narcotics and prostitutes. Hunter's gun winds up in a dumpster next to a school. How safe is that? Joe Biden wants to raise your taxes when his son doesn't even pay his. Joe Biden wants to hire thousands more IRS agents to catch tax cheats when his own son cheats on his taxes and has a rich donor pay off his debt. These IRS agents are going after waitresses' tips. But Hunter Biden cheats the government out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and gets away with it. Is Joe Biden still proud of his son now that his son's admitted he's a criminal, a liar, and a tax cheat? Just because the president's son's a crack addict, we're supposed to feel sorry for him? He's a grown man. He's in his 50s. He chose to smoke crack for all those years. He chose to lie, cheat, and steal. Smoking crack doesn't give you a pass with the IRS. If you get bribed by China with cash and diamonds and don't pay Uncle Sam, you think you're getting probation? As expected, the media says this was not a sweetheart deal. And this case has always stunk. Whistleblowers have come out of the woodwork. He was either going to get a sweetheart plea deal or get pardoned. The Hunter Biden investigation was never about Hunter. It was always about Joe. That's what the laptop tells us, the whistleblowers, the bank records. And the House investigation will continue to investigate Joe Biden and follow the money when prosecutors won't.
Man, listen. That's the president's son. He ain't getting no jail time. He ain't getting nothing. That's why they didn't pursue into the situation. Come on, man. That's why they came out about the aliens, man. They're trying to cover up this situation.
See any source of propulsion from the flying object, including on any potential thermal scans from your aircraft?
No, there's none. There's no IR plume coming out. And Chad, who took the video, went through all the EO, which is black and white TV, and the IR modes. And there's no visible signs of propulsion. It's just sitting in space at 20,000 feet.
In your career, have you ever seen a propulsion system that creates no thermal exhaust?
No.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very determinate. It knew exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Now, if the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
And just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
Now, was the aircraft that you were flying, was it armed?
No, never felt threatened at all.
If the aircraft was armed, do you believe that your aircraft or any aircraft in possession of the United States could have shot the Tic Tac down?
I'd say no. Just on the performance, it would have just left in a split second.
It looks like that we have a problem here that needs further investigation.
Yes.
They ain't taking it as a joke. All right. Let one of them things slide. It look like we got a problem. Yeah, big time. Big time. That means they got better aircrafts than us. We lost. Man, I hope they're not real.
You believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb, again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down, he said that his FLIR system malfunctioned, and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection, as you would typically see in a test mission.
Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself of non-human origin craft?
Yes, I personally interviewed those individuals.
Mr. Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself about ATs, advanced technologies that the U.S. government has?
Based on conventional advanced tech, I was briefed to the preponderance of the Defense Department's both space and aerospace compartmented programs. Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah.
how does a program like that get funded?
I will give you generalities. I can get very specific in a closed session, but misappropriation of funds and
Does that mean that
self-funding.
does that mean that there is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of that. Yep.
Has the U.S. government become aware of actual evidence of extraterrestrial, otherwise unexplained forms of intelligence? And if so, when do you think this first occurred?
I like to use the term non-human. I don't like to denote origin. Keeps the aperture open, both scientifically. Certainly, like I've discussed publicly previously, 1930s.
Do you have any personal knowledge of someone who's possibly been injured working on legacy UAP reverse engineering?
Yes.
Okay. How were they injured? Is it something like a radioactive type situation or something we didn't understand?
You could imagine assessing an unknown. There's a lot of potentialities you can't fully prepare for.
Is that whistleblower people been talking about? Like, he's just been telling everything, really. You never really know what to believe, honestly.
Next question. Does the United States believe that there may be life outside of Earth?
What we believe is that there are unexplained aerial phenomena. These phenomena have, in some cases, had an impact on our training ranges, on our pilots' ability to fly, train, operate, and stay ready. A national security issue worth looking at.
They're here, and they pulling up. Like, what y'all got going on here? Either they here or they, the government is frauding to us, but, Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all watching the video, man. I appreciate y'all showing the love. We got some more videos going up, man. Just, keep enjoying the channel. I'm going to keep posting videos, man. I'm trying to do like 2 videos a week, so just bear with me. I just started the channel, so I got y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. See you on the next one.